Alright, should be live now. Sorry about that, you guys. I was doing some research. How's everybody doing today? Let me get a link up there. Hold on a second. Get everything lined up first. Get my phone turned down. Uh, there we go. And try to get everything going here. You see who we got in here? We got CR. He came in right behind me, right when I was getting all set up. Lori Jean. Uncle Al. Looks like Gil. Hey, Gil. And that's about it for right now, but you guys will be coming in. There we go. Bama Backwoodsman. How you doing? Good to see you. Try to get my thing set up over here. It won't go. I got it propped up. All right. Still trying to get all set up here, sharing it out and all that stuff. Make sure you're sharing it out on your social medias as well. How's everybody doing? Good to see you guys. Lone Star Prep, hey, good to see you. All right, good to see you, Obama. Uh, you guys hear the ankle biter, huh? Let's see. Get this where I can see it better. Here we go. Yeah, I can see it better. Bigger words. Doing good, Lori. No dancing today. You're probably still recuperating. Is Gil out there still? You're more than welcome to come up, Gil. Hey, Jake. That's right, Jay. Weather comes into play all over the place. That's what I was doing some research while I was waiting on me to press that darn button. I almost let my popsicle melt because I was doing other stuff. The heat gives you an automatic heat stroke. Yeah. You're going to need some pumps, huh? You're going to need some pumps back at Bama Backwoodsman. Get rid of some of that water. SD Mountain Man, welcome. How you doing? Oh, I'll bet. Yeah. I was just looking up some pumps and stuff. Doing good. Your day is over. Right on, brother. RB Lucky, how you doing? Let a few more people jump in here. Whoops. Have I done it? It's the wrong button. There we go. Now I've really done it. There we go. Got my chat box all messed up here. Trying to straighten it out, you guys. Here it is right there. I had to make it so I could see what you guys are saying. Here we go. I guess Gil is not going to be coming up. Maybe he got sidetracked doing something with the kids or something. Hey, Wes, how you doing, my friend? You're back? All right, hold on.
Come on, get in there. There we go. That. There we go.
You're right. It's almost entirely gone, Wes. How's Mr. Gill doing?
Busy, busy, busy. Been installing CCTV cameras and getting out a video just about 10 minutes ago. Well, 10 minutes before you started.
There we go. We got Lucky up here, too.
Hey,
How
Lucky.
you doing, Lucky?
Oh, I'm just jumping around this evening waiting for my beans to get done.
All right. What kind beans?
Pinto beans.
Oh, I love pinto beans.
Yeah, finally got around to making my lunch.
Well, it's kind of late in the day for lunch, huh?
Yeah.
I haven't had anything today, hardly. I had some candy, which I ain't supposed to, but I had it anyway.
Cabbage gives me gas.
Wes is right. Well, your popsicle's warping out and going through a dimensional vortex. It just appears as you bring it up to your mouth.
Oh, goes invisible.
Yep.
Old man, hey, how are you doing?
Okay, I gotta turn that down.
How was your doctor's appointment there, buddy? Blue Healer, good to see you too.
I gotta bring up a tablet so I can see the side chat.
That's what I do. I have a tablet off to the side. That way I can make it bigger so I can see the words.
Oh, let me see.
Uncle Al's talking volcanoes in the side chat.
Volcano time. Is that in California, eh?
I'm not sure. Earlier, just before you came on, he was asking me if I was going to invade Washington.
Washington has its share of volcanoes, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I think that caldera is in what, Wyoming?
Which one? The Yellowstone?
Yeah.
That's in Montana.
Montana, Wyoming. Yeah, it's up there somewhere.
Yeah,
I bought me some land in Nevada. I hope I'm on the backside of that caldera.
Yeah, the Yellowstone one's up there by
it's
about 90 miles north of me, right out near the Idaho border up there.
Well, I bought some land near Idaho, I'm in Nevada, but it's Idaho border and Utah, right up there in that little neck.
Hmm.
You coming up, Dave?
So
There should be a link there somewhere.
if it blows up, I'll be on the back side of it.
You'll be on the back side of that one.
Yeah, and all that's. I live in Oklahoma, and I'll still live in Oklahoma. But if it gets bad, I'll go on the other side of it and let let Oklahoma fill up about 20 foot of ash.
Yeah, yeah. What part of Oklahoma?
I live north of Oklahoma City at a little
North
town called
Oklahoma City.
Crescent. Yeah, a little
Okay,
town
yeah.
called Crescent,
Yeah, my dad was born in Ponca City.
Oklahoma City. My wife. Well, I came from here years ago, but the reason I never did leave Oklahoma is because all of her folks were there, and of course they've all died since then. So,
Yeah, you're just stuck there.
well, yeah. Now I've got kids and grandkids and great grandkids and great great grandkids here, so I'm just sticking around. But I
There
did
you
buy me a
go.
place. I did buy a place up in Nevada, up in the mountains, up in the Ruby Mountains is what they call it.
Oh yeah.
Anthony's here.
Hey, Anthony.
Yeah, Dave is. Sounds like he's not at home. He's out somewhere and he's watching on his phone or whatever.
I thought he was making it up, saying he was over there at your place.
What did he say? He said he's over at CPFC. Oh, okay.
Isn't that
That's
where
what he
you
meant.
are?
That's what he meant. Okay.
Isn't that your place?
No, you no. Usually people refer to me as CFC. They don't put the P in there. But talking about Yellowstone, Yellowstone's not really the big threat to the United States. And I've talked this on a couple different lives and stuff, but it's the Long Valley Caldera in California. It actually had a bigger area covered by its ash plume than the last Yellowstone one did.
Well, either way, Oklahoma's right in its path.
Well, there's a lot of fault lines in California. Actually, they go every which way.
Yeah, but
There's a big one that goes from west to east.
and the thing is, you're talking about how weather will affect an event. Whether it's whether it's a total shtf or beyond that, if it's a Milwaukee event. The weather also will definitely affect how the supervolcanoes spread their ash. Because if you have a really high wind, if the jet stream's really strong, you get a high wind blowing in one direction.
Yep.
If you're upwind from it, you're fine. But if you're downwind,
and it also depends on how high up the ash goes. If it gets up into the airstream, high enough up into the airstream, it can carry it a long ways.
It can go all the way around the world and come back and dump on itself again.
Yep. Because Mount St. Helens did that. It picked it up and took it halfway across the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I said, I got a degree in biology. I didn't know much. I haven't got a degree in what they call volcanology or what they call it. I ain't got one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you what happens to the human body after disease and shit like that, but that'd be about it.
Well,
we've had more people die of the common flu than we've had of this what do they call this thing here, the
Coronavirus.
Coronavirus. Yeah, I talked to my doctor and we've talked, and he's a prepper like me, and in fact he's in my group, and he said we don't have to worry too much about it. And I said, well, I wasn't worried about it too much anyway. But you basically if you wash your hands and avoid people, I mean, you're pretty well even in any flu or a cold or anything,
Yeah.
Don't drink out of somebody else's cup. The common sense stuff.
Oh, common sense stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the only problem I see with it is the fact that they're bringing all these people back into the United States, and in Nebraska there, in one day, they all of a sudden the number jumped from 15 to 29 because of those group they have under quarantine. They brought them in, and it's like, Hello. Now, are you going to keep them quarantined?
They're quarantined down at the air
No,
base.
but are you going to keep them quarantined for the next 30 days?
14 days, what I heard on the news.
No.
Well,
It's spreading
actually
at 29.
Yeah,
It's
21 days is you still got to keep them up for at least 3 weeks. 21 days.
well, they find
And
it being
like,
people contagious 29 days
oh
after
yeah,
they get it.
oh like I said, if somebody already had it or whatever, I'd want like 30 days would be maybe sufficient. 45 would I'd even feel better. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I doubt they are going to let them go if they're still tested positive.
Well, the thing is, though, they could test negative as far as being on the one test. If they don't do the other test, they're still positive. That's one thing they found out. There's like 2 or 3 tests they have to do to cover everything because they tested the one person with 2 of the tests. They didn't do the third test, and then they realized, oh crap, we didn't do this one. They did that one. Person was positive.
Well, they had a wildlife guy in, I believe it was California or Colorado. I believe it might have been in Colorado. He got the Ebola virus, and they figured out that he got the Ebola virus from the mountain lion in Colorado. I think it was Colorado or somewhere up there. And I'm thinking, oh, so now you're saying the American mountain lions carry the Ebola virus. You see what I'm saying? I mean, to me, I think it's due to global warming and the diseases are coming back that ain't been here since the Ice Age. You know what I'm saying? And it wouldn't hurt to quit eating stuff we ain't supposed to, like bats and rats and all the other good crap. But yeah, I think that's where most of this stuff is coming from that type of stuff.
As long as they keep them on them bases and keep them quarantined, that's all I care about.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, we're going to lose so many people no matter what to begin with. Uh, I heard China had 1 billion people, so therefore they can afford to lose a few of them. That would be my motto.
Yeah.
Well, you're always going to lose some anyway, so.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
fighting as hard as they're working as hard as they can to figure out how to fix it. So just let them go at it. Enough people out there trying to outguess it.
Yeah. So, Will, you want me to put you back on track?
yeah.
So weather, depending on what your SHTF, your poop hitting the fan scenario is,
Mm-hmm.
it will definitely dictate how things are going to go sideways. Take a simple one. What's current in all the novels right now is an EMP. If it happens at the beginning of winter, there's going to be the die-off is going to be really bad. If it happens early spring to mid-spring, people have a chance to get gardens in and grow stuff. As soon as the grocery stores are going to run out of food in what, 4 days.
Well, the Bible says you better pray that basically it don't come in the winter. You know, the end of time or whatever. You know, in the Bible says, and that's what it says. To me, I think if you prepare for everything, you're sort of behind anyway. You can't prepare for everything. The main thing of it is if you got to be able to withstand just minor things that come along, hurricanes, tornadoes, a disease, let's say like this one. I mean, like one guy was saying, I forget, he was Canadian prepper, I think it was, and he had got a lot of good stuff on his channel, and he was talking about taking the filter in your air conditioner out and making a mask out of it. And I said, well, I'd rather go to the cabinet and get a coffee filter down and use it as a mask. You can put 2 or 3 of them on there, you know.
Yeah.
But I think they'll be more sufficient than the mask in your air conditioner because it's tighter woven.
Yeah.
But
the ones in air conditioners aren't very porous either. I mean, they're pretty wide open, you know.
Yeah, they're just to catch big dust particles and dust bunnies.
Well, my theory behind it is that, like I put on this channel, I said that coffee filter makes better sense because everybody's got a stack of them in the cabinet. You know, the cost efficiency is what I was going for.
Yeah.
You know, but Like I said, if it does hit the fan, it's going to take out the people with poor immune systems, newborn, the elderly that has breathing problems. I mean,
That's
you
sort
know,
of like a
and
population. I guess, uh,
thinning it down.
yeah, thinning out the population. Yep.
Well, and my theory behind it is that's one reason I bought 10 acres up there in the Ruby Mountains of the Rocky Mountains. My closest neighbor is 56 miles away.
Yep.
I plan on taking enough stuff up there if I decide to stay up there for 6 months to 2 years. I'm trying to make it 2 years sustainable for 2 years because remember the American Indians, people would have starved out if they didn't have enough groceries for 2 years. So that's what I'm looking forward towards. And hell, I'm 88, so I ain't worried about it too much.
Yeah.
But the point about it is, you can't just go out there and go through the mall and go to the you got to watch where you're going.
Well, you start getting older, you quit going to the mall and stuff like that anyway. You pretty much lived your fast life. It's time to slow down.
Well,
Amazon.
look at go ahead.
Go ahead and get
Amazon's
everything,
my
order everything on
mall.
Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon's my mall.
Yeah, it sounds like mine too. But the point I'm getting at is, I mean, little kids that go to school, you got grandkids and great grandkids and great grand the kids that go to school and they're going to all these places. Your teenagers are going out to baseball games and so on and so forth. I mean, I quit going to even high rise buildings and this, that, and the other after the Murray building mobbing. I just quit going just anywhere like that. If my doctor ain't on a ground level, I ain't going. you know?
Yeah, that's about how I am too. Unless it's got an elevator that goes up to the second floor or something, I'm pretty well stuck. Uh, I'm not walking anywhere I don't have to.
Well, I try to avoid big crowds in the same way I would be if stuff hit the fan. I would have like. Would you want to be the only car out there drivable? Somebody probably put a bullet in your head just for your car. You know what I'm
Yep,
saying?
yep,
That would be my theory behind it. I mean,
Mhm.
yes, I've got a Faraday cage. I know I've got a lot of stuff on CDs and CD players that I put. It takes 90 watts to turn on a laptop. 90 watts is not much power. Well, I put a lot of medical stuff, and I've got a lot of paper books, but I put a lot of that stuff in a Faraday cage. I've got an extra brain for my vehicle. But I would have to really, and of course, I've got a 19, let's see, what year is that? 60 or 62 model Volkswagen van. It's dual carburetor with points because it don't have a brain. Uh, you'd have to wonder so on and so forth. But I don't think I would really be driving. And I'll tell you another thing: I wouldn't run out there and put a brain in because if they hit you with the EMP and then turn around and waited 30 days and hit you again, you wouldn't. Do you have a third brain to put in? That's what I would think.
yeah,
No, I
yeah.
think I'd wait.
What's thing is, as far as EMPs, it's more devastating. Is actually going to be the one from the sun, because everyone thinks that a solar EMP is going to be, bam, that's it. No, 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 no. It lasts for weeks
You
because
mean a
that stream just
plasma
comes.
injection? A
Yeah,
plasma injection?
yeah, it'll last for weeks. I mean, just because we're getting hit, and as the Earth rotates, it's not going to come as a solid wall. It comes as a stream, and
Yeah,
it
and
hits
as
and
the
goes
earth
around,
turns,
and
yeah,
it gets us, and it gets us, and it gets us. Someone goes, "Oh, everything's out. Okay, I'm going to go open up my packet." They open up their packet, and they watch everything fry in it.
Yeah. Like I said, I do have a Faraday cage, and like I said, and I thought, well, I'm more worried about like information. I got a lot of paper books, this, that, and the other, but I've got a lot of CDs. CD, it's not going to be effective with the EMP, but the player would be. You know,
Yeah,
so therefore you don't have to like put an extra brain in or something like that. But I would be more worried about medical procedures, the simple ones like extracting a tooth or uh, gallbladder or appendicitis, things that you maybe could handle yourself.
Hi, folks. This is Uncle Al. Hi, Lucky. Hi, Gil. Hi,
Hi.
Will.
Hey,
He's looking pretty good today. How you
Yeah,
doing?
I just
You look
woke
pretty
up.
good.
I woke up. I put medicine in my eyes, so I only can see half of you guys. Hi, Lori. Hi, Vanessa, Kitty. Gil,
Yeah.
did you see the news report out of Ecuador? Now we got two left about the volcano's upper cone.
oh yeah, the stuff going on down there.
Yeah, Ecuador, Tunga Galagula. I can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
And
Well, I saw the one down there. Was it Ecuador? Or was it Chile that um, suspicious observers was showing on his thing how it was going poof, poof, poof.
Yeah, that one's in Chile.
Chile, yeah.
Yeah, no, this one's in Ecuador, and everybody's nervous because if you're in Texas, this puppy goes that cone.
Mm-hmm.
They already had a 6-point earthquake nearby there. This cone goes. The Southwest is going to get snow.
No.
Ooh.
Is that from
No.
the jet stream then, or?
No, because volcano, active volcano. Remember Mount St. Helens when it blew up?
Yeah.
Reverse blows in.
Uh-oh.
It causes its own electrical storm too. When a volcano's starting to
You
go
hear
off,
that,
it
Wes?
causes its own electrical storm.
Oh yeah.
Hear that, Wes? You're gonna die.
Oh
You better hurry up and
no,
move.
no. Wes
Damn,
is
I
going
just
to be
bought 10
fine.
acres in Nevada. I'm fried.
Nah, you're going to be fine. Don't worry about it.
I stayed in Oklahoma for a while then.
Yeah, I do figures on weather. The weirdest one is Anthony, because I've been tracking this jet stream from last week,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going across the southern states like you would not believe.
Oh
And
yeah, it's changed Oklahoma's weather because it's just like.
yeah, it bypassed Oklahoma. It didn't hit you guys too bad, but it hit Mississippi, Alabama,
Oh yeah.
Georgia really bad. Now it's arcing up to the Carolinas and Virginia. I can't figure if it's going to be snow, hail, or sleet.
Well, everybody says, "Well, why are you living in Oklahoma?" I said, "I'm in the central of the United States. I mean, I'm about the furthest away you can get from a nuclear silo." I said, "There's really not much out here. I mean, I can go to Colorado, I can go to Texas, I can head back to Arkansas, back east, I can go out west." I said, "Anywhere directional finds, I can go. If you're." I started by some land in South Carolina, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, it's the ocean or back into the continental United States. Or I could run to
Yeah,
Florida.
but the trouble with Florida and South Carolina, you're in the path of hurricanes. You got hurricanes on one side, tornadoes on the other. Not a good.
Oh yeah, but I looked at land in California. The only way you can walk out of California is if you take a boat and go to head up towards Oregon and Washington, or down to the Bahamas, or I mean, but I said you got to watch where you're going because there's so much desert out there. I figured if I'm in Idaho, close to Idaho and Salt Lake City, I mean, I'm pretty well north of the caldera, the one up there in Montana. So I'd be on the west side of it. There's a lot of places you're thinking, well, wait a minute, I don't want too hard of winters and I don't want too hot of summers. I looked at St. John's in Arizona, but that 120 degree in the summertime, I don't think so.
You need to find something in the mountains and in the southwest or something where the temperature during the day is only about 70.
Well,
Yeah.
In the winter, in the summertime, it's an average around 78 to 84 degrees up where I'm like 6,000 feet above sea level, and I've been checking the winters. They're not much different than Oklahoma. We had some 19-degree weather or something like that, but that ain't that bad. But I mean, you got to watch where you're buying if you're going to be a prepper.
Right. Hi, Bubba. That's Jewish redneck prepper and Bama backwoodsman. Sorry, my eyesight's horrible today.
Hey,
So many
Al,
drops. But
you mentioned about the one down there in Ecuador.
right,
I'm looking at a bunch of feeds here right now for the last couple days. Indonesia's 5 days ago, Indonesia's most active volcano erupted.
right.
And then 2 days ago, you have, I can't pronounce this,
I know. Me neither.
Popo Chichichinili in Mexico
You,
Yeah.
is still
Pupa. Like you said, Jeff.
Popo Kaka. Yeah. Anyways, it says activity of the volcano continues at a moderately high rate. And then you have, of course, the throat of fire volcano in Ecuador shows early signs of collapse. And Dave, Southern Ohio Prepping, just posted in the side chat there the link to the Daily Mail on it, and it says that it's the last time it collapsed.
1999.
25,000 people were evacuated nearby. The collapse of the west face 30,000 or 3,000 years ago covered 30 square miles in debris. So they're not sure what it's going to do. And the other thing on the news, let's see here, trying to get in here. Okay, it's blocked me one of these ones I want to be paid for. There's a thing on it about the Daily Express put out something 18 hours ago. Panic as supervolcano, Yellowstone emergency panic as supervolcano could erupt this week. Warn, and I can't see anything else on that, but that's the only one I've seen on them.
Can you put your say hi in the side chat so I can make sure I subbed you? I've been subbing everybody that if I got any content to watch.
you want to Gil?
Yeah, I've already got you, Uncle.
All right, there you go. I just put hey all again.
That'll work. Oh, I think I've already got you, but I'm making
Yep,
sure.
you're a pretty good channel there, Lucky.
And
Well, I like to sub people that's got some content. I like to watch a lot of video. I don't watch television anymore.
Yeah, let's see if I can get here on this. This week, scientists warns. Okay, Yellowstone emergency panic as supervolcano could erupt this week. Scientists warn, and God, man,
Jay wants to know if
this news thing has so many friggin' commercials on it here.
Joe wants to know if
just
one
covered
of
with
volcanoes is the rodent.
Okay. That'd be one of the ones in Japan. Remember, Rodan is one of the monsters over in Japan with Godzilla and Mothra.
And then Lori was saying something in the side chat about Missouri starting to flood again.
Oh yeah, not only Missouri, West Virginia's getting dumped on in the rain. Northern Ohio's getting dumped on. There's a lot of rain going around.
If you live in those areas,
Missouri,
buy some sandbags
or a boat. Hi, Herman.
Yeah.
Hey, Herman.
So, yeah, this is one that this news organization, quote, news organization put out. It's UK. It looks to be more just
H-Town.
It's just a fluff piece in there. That's a fear clickbait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate for the YouTubers to get on there, the preppers or whatever, and then they just throw a bunch of fear information. That
Yeah.
There's a ton of them out there.
If you just want a YouTube channel to scare people, or so you can get a sub or whatever, that don't make no sense.
They just want some clicks, and views and whatnot.
Yeah, so this Express, home of the Daily and Sunday Express news in UK is it's like the National Enquirer, actually worse.
Yeah. Well, that's what gets me about some of these preppers. That they'll throw up there a bunch of stuff that you can take down off the internet or Google or whatever. And now, come on, put some thought into this stuff. You really want that on your channel? I mean, I just want to scare people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets
And all they
ridiculous.
want is they're wanting views and AdSense. That's what they want.
Yeah.
Yep. You're
Okay.
totally right, Lucky. Gil, what's
Yeah.
going on with Greater Ohio, Idaho? Almost said Ohio. What's going on with the Greater Idaho movement? Are you trying to invade Washington? Washington State?
No. We're getting ready to lob all our trash over there and give it to the demons, crats.
I thought you're going to take some counties away from Washington.
No. It's the eastern counties of Washington are getting fed up with the democrats that are running the crap into the ground, and they want to bail ship on the state and join Idaho. Like several of the counties in Virginia wanting to bail on that state and join
right
West
along
Virginia.
the border there is where they're trying to expand it into Idaho.
Great. So it's now going to be the People's Republic of Greater Idaho.
No, it's going to be the refugee. It's going to be the refugee counties from Washington escaping the democrats.
It should be called the left carryover. What do they call those guys? I can't think of it now. They were saying it the other day.
Hey, Dave, I just looked at it. I even ran it back for a full 7 days on the USGS quake survey. There ain't nothing going on.
Gil, it was the new Democrat Republicans.
Yeah.
I changed my status the other day from Democrat to independent.
Good, Lucky.
Well, what I still like was that little mime that somebody put up on Facebook of JFK talking to Pelosi. What have you done to my party?
Well, I decided myself, I shamed both of them.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at, Lucky, so don't feel bad.
I just shamed both of them.
Hey, Pepper Smith.
Hi, Pepper Smith.
Hey, brother, how you doing?
I'm just happy I took a break today because I've been doing mathematics. I just finished the kids' tax return.
Yeah.
I'm just tired.
Yeah, there's another video question going around, and I responded to it. I got mine from Jeep Girl 73. It was saying what would you do if it was 5 minutes to the war? Basically, if you found out that the war, the shtf, whatever, was going to start in 5 minutes, what would you do? And that, my response on that basically was about 10 minutes long of give me information. I need to know who, what, when, where, why, how, what's going on, where it's going on, and it's like you can't make a decision just on, oh, we're starting in 5 minutes, what are you going to do? Well, where's the war at? Is it between India and Pakistan? Is it between Saudi Arabia and Iran? Is it between Chile and Argentina? Hello, I need more information.
More information,
yeah. Some of the questions that people put out there to start a stream going and have them mentioned in the stream as the originator of the question is like, but it's Jeep Girl 73 didn't start it, but she had a good response. So she goes, I don't know, I don't have any information.
Well, you know what I'd say? Damn it, I should have started my beans early because I got a total electric house. My damn crock pot needs to speed up.
You got the new ones or you got the old crock pot?
Oh, I got an old one. I bought one of them new hurry up things. No, I like slow cooked beans. I don't need to pressure cook a bean. I mean, I got plenty of time to make sure my beans get done. But no, that's the point about it. If you've not already prepared, it's like one guy said, well, I'll run to the Costco store and load up on canned goods. Everybody would be after the beer and the cigarettes. And I'm saying, if you've not prepared already, if you've not got your canned goods in a row, it's too late. I told my kids and my granddaughter, I said, if you're in a store, let's say, okay, I can see if you already handed them your card and they've run you up and you're about ready to go out the door, then go ahead and take your groceries to the outside. But if you're back there in the back, you leave the shopping cart and go to your car and leave. Just leave it. You ain't got time.
Yeah.
Because if you've not prepared prior to something, it's too late.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't know how many people say that they actually think that they don't have to do anything until they get the whistle and then they can just run and get it. They
Yeah, it's
don't.
like
They don't understand the bigger picture.
Right.
Well,
Remember?
this one guy, he said he'd just take a gun and take whatever he wants. He's supposed to be a prepper. And
Yeah,
I'm
That
saying,
did,
the good
yeah, he's
old,
not a prepper.
the good old
Nah,
Willie
he's a kook.
story.
He's an
That's called it.
unprepper.
that's called an idiot.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've not prepared yourself prior to anything, I mean everything, and I'm 88 years of age, and my doctor told me he's with me in my group, so he's my doctor and my prepper buddy. He said, Lucky, we'll give you about 18 months, and that'll be about the best thing. Because with my health, my age, we're pushing to keep me alive just to drain my information, Because I don't need a book. I don't need a book to how to do a lot of things because I know the 27 plants in Oklahoma. I know how to build a gasifier. I know how to do these things. Okay, about 18 months, and they probably use me up. Why feed me, keep me around? And I said, yeah, fine. The point about it is, at least I get 18 months.
They keep you around long enough to train other people
Right.
That's it.
with your knowledge up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the point about it. You're not going to live the same quality of life you have right now. And I'm not on oxygen. I get around. I can tie my own shoes. I can wipe my own butt. I mean, if I fell down the floor, I don't have to have something to grab to get myself up. I've seen some 45 to 55-year-old men. They can't even get up without holding on to something and pulling themselves up. They can't even tie their own shoe. They cannot walk a half a mile. I mean,
No kidding about that.
that's what. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Lucky. Sorry.
All I'm saying.
Sorry about that.
All I'm saying is your number one prep is get yourself healthy as you possibly can.
That's right.
That's
Stay
it.
as healthy as
That's
you
your
can.
number one. I mean,
You
if
know
you
what?
can't.
Oh, sorry about that, bro.
I
Thank
said,
you.
if you can't, then I understand that because all of us is going to get old and die. But you can't tell me this one guy's 53 years of age, and he can't even get up from the floor without assistance. And when he gets out of a chair, I mean, I just went and let my dogs in, come back, fed them a treat. And, I mean, I'm not grunting and all this other. Your number one prep is get yourself healthy.
Yeah.
And if you can, if you're a diabetic, or you smoke cigarettes, or you chew tobacco, this guy chews tobacco. I mean, you cannot have any devices. You see what I'm saying? If you're just adding to your survival, you won't make it. If you got like cigarettes, alcoholic, a diabetes, I mean, you got to get yourself as healthy as possible. If you don't do that, just go out and have a party and forget prepping. Because it ain't going to make a damn bit of difference. Just go have a party. Sorry to take up so much time.
No, it's all right, Lucky. Like I said, I outpace most of these kids nowadays. I walk 2.5 miles a day. I'm slow, but I see people on half a mile, they're all pooped out and they're on the grass or sidewalk or on the park bench, and I'm looking at them like, I only did about a mile. What's wrong with you guys? We're running in our Speedos, Uncle Alan. I'm like, no spandex, no Speedos. I'm a walker. I'm walking. I got another 1.5 miles. Get my coffee, walk back. And I still see them on the side of the road like, I'm really tired and drinking out of plastic bottles. Like, I'm really tired. And I'm
Well,
walking by
I
with
was
my
tr-
cup of coffee.
I was trying to explain people. I've been through Korea and Vietnam, and I was born before the Second World War. So I was a young kid, 10, 11, 12 years old then. But I've seen most of these people in their countries, they run and hide, or I mean, they make themselves less conspicuous as possible, and they survive. You know, these people that think that it's going to be kill everybody that comes by, like shoot them in the head. There couldn't be anything worse than a war. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the point about it is, they're trying to use they're using Mad Max or this television show as a scenario when stuff hits the fan. You know,
Yeah.
they or they watch this what is that zombie show or whatever them Walking
Yeah.
Dead or
Walking
whatever.
Dead.
That is the most stupidest show I ever seen in my life to try to show people what when crap hits the fan. Really? I mean,
Yeah.
you better start if you got your seeds in order. Are they are they what the seed that you can replant? Are they? I mean, they don't have they just think that they got a gun. And number one thing, if you got a gun, don't show it on television. That's supposed or on TV or YouTube or anything. That's stupid. But they use that as scenario like okay, they don't realize there's more people out there that's got another gun bigger than your gun. Or more people trained to be. I mean, I'm gonna act like I ain't got nothing. I'm not gonna dress in camo. I'm not gonna carry AK-47 or all this other crazy stuff. I
Gray man
mean,
is the best way to go.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, how many homeless people do you see out there pushing a shopping cart that gets mugged? You know what I'm saying?
Not too many. You usually see them that are the ones doing the mugging.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to wear my best clothes, my best shoes, this, that, and the other, to go mill around and scavenge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I, yeah, I mean, they don't make no damn sense. And then they say, well, I'll just take what I need. Well, everybody in this dog is thinking about the same thing. And then they say, well, we'll run to the mountains and we'll eat deer. Okay, the last time I checked, the deer population in the United States versus the human population, you would be lucky to smell the deer's poop after he left.
That's
Hmm.
about right.
There's not enough of them to go around.
Yeah, it really depends on where you
Yeah.
live, but you're right there.
And
I
as
mean,
soon as everybody starts going after them, those deer are going to become so spooky, and they're going to go for the high country,
Well,
and
they'll
you
be
ain't going to
gone.
see them.
They'll just be gone. They'll be hunted.
well, that's
They'll
one
be
reason
hunted
I
out
bought
in
up.
no
I
time.
bought up in the high country. I'm 56 miles from human civilization. There is about 4 or 5 miles away. There is one of the smoke towers. The live the person that
Yeah.
watches the
Fire.
fires and stuff.
Yep.
Okay, nobody's going to walk 57 miles and look for me for food. Okay, I live right here close to Little Sahara. It's a desert. It's like the Sahara Desert. And I said, well, if I don't make it up there, I'm going to take my Amazon bus. I've got this old school bus, and I'm going to Little Sahara, and I'm going to stay out there 2 years. I can pull water out of the atmosphere. I know how to do that. I've worked in water and wastewater for years. The point about it is, nobody runs to a desert. They run to towns. They run to shopping malls. They run to grocery outlets.
Walmart.
Yeah, they don't run in the wilderness. Or now that might happen later. Don't get me wrong, but that's after a month or two after they've done sucked up everything inside that town.
Hmm.
And if they know what civil defense is, and now this is you could open up a civil defense book. It tells you to shut the town down within 1 hour and utilize the resources that's in that town. So they're going to block the roads within an hour. If you're in a town, you better get your butt out of it in an hour. Because once they crack open that book and they say, well, block the bridges, block the roads, utilize all the material, have it one place like a school, an auditorium, so on and so forth, the medicines, all this stuff will be, you see what I'm saying? It's going to be sucked into one central place. and then you got somebody distributing it out to the other people. So if you're a prepper inside of city limits or close enough to a city, they're going to take yours and feed the rest of the people that didn't save a can of tuna.
They're going to
Or
try.
they're going to try to do that. Yeah.
Well, I decided if I let them worry about it, I'm going to be out of town.
Yeah.
You know, you know, but that's where people don't realize what they train you to do. Because I
Yeah.
belong to civil defense. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to save the biggest bulk of the population
Yeah.
and the most healthier one. They're not going to feed me. They're not going to feed anybody on oxygen. They're not going to feed anybody that's sickly, mentally retarded, or anything else that has a handicap. So they're not going to feed us what we need to eat. So therefore, they're going to slowly starve us to death. If you can't contribute, it's just like the work farms in the 30s. They fed the people that worked good. The ones that didn't work out there on the work farms didn't get very much to eat.
Yeah.
So, and that's what's going to
Well,
happen.
everybody will lose weight for sure.
Yep. Hi, Ryan.
I can lose a little bit. I don't want to starve like that.
Hi, Ryan the gamer. Let's go back to weather.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing too is, when this whatever it is happens, you got 4 different seasons. 2 of them are close to each other, fall and winter. I mean, fall and spring. But if you in a city and the power grid goes down in the summertime, no AC, how many people are going to be dying in those apartment buildings?
Yeah, they'll be
Okay.
sweating it.
If
It'd
you
be a
have
sweat
any
box.
type of breathing problems, a lot of them apartments ain't got a window you can open. If you got any type of breathing problem with heat 110 above, you're gonna die. It's as
Yeah.
simple as that. You're gonna die.
And
Yeah.
the same thing goes, and then in the wintertime, the power grid's out. You don't have anything producing power, any heat in the big cities.
Mm-mm.
You don't have any power to pump the water up any time of the year. So, but in the wintertime, you can have everybody freezing. In the summertime, you have everybody getting heat stroke and dying.
If you live in a populated area I'd say over 4,000 people, 3 to 4,000 people, you need to get out.
Yeah.
Now your little bitty town might isolate itself like that movie Jericho, and somebody's civil defense person or whatever is trying to make it or whatever. My auto town says it's blow the bridges because there's 3 ways into this town, and every one of them means you got to cross a bridge to get here.
Yeah.
Because we've been flooded out. But the point about it is, I really don't trust anybody with my well-being except myself. So
Yeah.
therefore, and my own group that we picked out. And if a person ain't got good morals, you don't want them in your group. That's the honest God truth. I'm
Yeah.
telling you the truth. If they ain't got good morals, if there's something lacking in their morals, like a pedophile, a rapist, a thief, a person that just cares about himself, you don't want them in your group. You do not. You can't afford them.
Yeah.
That's what
But,
I'm
yeah.
saying. Go ahead. I'll take up too
Yeah.
much people's time.
So, like, if you're in the certain times down there in California, Southern California, if something happens, it happens to be the season for the Santa Ana winds. Oh man, it's you're gonna have that's gonna be affecting everybody. It's gonna be drying everybody out. You're gonna get a fire going, and those winds hit those fires, man. It's insane. You get a house fire going, and when the Santa Ana wind's hitting it, it's not gonna be a house fire. It's gonna be an urban firestorm, and you're gonna lose blocks upon blocks upon blocks.
If you're in California, your chances is really slim to none that you're going to survive. It's a desert, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Without Colorado's water, Los Angeles dry up and blow away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a long
Yeah.
way from Colorado to Los Angeles.
Well, sometimes they buy their water from Oregon, Washington too. There's a big
Yep.
pipeline that goes down.
I'm a desert
Yeah.
rat, guys. I live in Lower San Joaquin, the Greater San Joaquin Desert. It's been
San
terrible.
Joaquin Valley.
Yep, lower part,
That's sort of like what is that? The
Bakersfield.
Bakersfield, okay, yeah, but you can go from right there and go up into the mountains and the hills. Bakerfield's has got some hills, pretty well some mountains and stuff. You know,
No, it takes, if you're on horse or walking, it'll take you 2 days. My family's been here since 1895, and we know how the valley changed.
Yeah.
It used to be desert out here. Remember the old song, Riders of the Purple Plains? We used to have
yeah.
sagebrush out here. That's where we get the Riders of the Purple Plains because everybody was singing about the purple sagebrush. Now we have
Well, that's
a
one reason I picked Oklahoma. I'm in the central continental United States, and I mean, I can go to the desert, I can go to the mountains, I can go to head southeast and head to the where it rains like I don't know a hell of a lot of times more than it don't. You know, I mean, I can get a rainy part of the country. The biggest part of a lot of this stuff is you got to pick your location, location, locations half of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Tyler,
Yeah. So, like I was saying about the fires down south, if you look at what happened up in Northern California with um, Santa Rosa, the winds weren't even blowing up there then when Santa Rosa burnt several years back, and it took out huge neighborhoods. And they had the firefighters there, they had power, they had water pressure, and it still, just the heat from created its own weather pattern and just came in there. There weren't high winds like there were other times when PG&E shut the power down. But and that's interesting. That's just using California as an example. I've been out there in West Virginia, northern West Virginia, there where you get the winds coming through there through the canyons and stuff, and come into
Mhm.
town. Yeah, you can lose several whole cities, boom, just like that if a wildfire gets going and there's no power or water pressure to nobody to fight it.
this is what I don't understand is how much all the fires they have in California in the residential areas. How come those people that know that those areas catch on fire almost yearly? How come they don't have fire hoses and stuff to keep their houses cooled down so the fires can't get to them? You know, I mean, that would
Because
Well,
save a
they
lot.
buy into the demon's story of, oh, you're in a residential area, you're safe. The fire
what
trucks can
about
keep it from coming in.
what about the
But I mean,
mudslides?
if it was your house, wouldn't you want to save it though? I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean,
how many houses have some of those people lost? You know,
well, the thing is, though,
How about
because
how
the
about the
area just outside
mudslides?
of the residential area is so packed with fuel where it hasn't burnt for 30 years, 40 years,
talk about all
the
that
demons,
paintbrush and stuff.
yeah, the Democrats have said, no, we're that's not ecological sound planning to have let wildfires go do controlled burns. We're just going to stop it all and let nature take its course, not realizing that fire is nature's course for taking care of all those weeds and stuff. But weeds come, our area comes right up against the outer suburbia zones, and when the fire comes in, it by the time it gets to that point, it's got its own little wind behind it, and it just hits those houses so fast. They can be standing out there with a 1.5 inch hose trying to wet down their house, and it's just going to burn them standing there. It's just going to burn right over the top of them. That's the problem.
Well,
Is there's the outside the urban area, the suburban area, into the brush, the trees, the sagebrush and stuff. That stuff is so packed full of dead wood,
Yeah, you
weeds.
would think they would have a fire break or something in there. You know, you
They're
would think so.
required.
You know,
They're required.
would
You're
that
right,
not
Will.
make
They
sense
do.
though?
They do have a fire break, a 20-foot wide fire break. 20-foot wide fire break ain't going to stop nothing when it's coming down there because it's jumping 60-foot wide streets.
Yeah,
And then the
Gil,
problem is they got to maintain those fire breaks all the time, and that's
I don't
that
think it would.
costs money that the Democrats don't want to spend because that's money out of their pocket.
Well,
yeah.
now
I don't think
it
it's all
wouldn't matter.
demon
It
crap.
wouldn't matter if you were a Democrat or Republican, independent or communist. It wouldn't matter which politician or whatever. Main politicians are they're like human nature. If they're after their own agenda.
That's what I was
Whatever
going to
the
say.
agenda is.
If you actually look
It,
at it, whether it's been a Democrat president, a Republican president, whatever's been in the White House, it's been
oh
60 years since they've done anything to the infrastructure. It's
yeah,
not just
but
the Democrats; it's
no,
both sides.
it's
Yeah.
Democrats, Republicans. Look at Carter. All Carter did was raise the price of peanut butter. You see what I'm saying? That's all he was cared about. He was a peanut farmer. Every one of them had their own agenda.
Yeah.
The president right now has his own agenda.
And they all say
You
that they
go.
all run on the thing that they're going to fix the infrastructure, but they don't because they've already spent that money before they ever get there.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
gonna
I
tell you
noticed that
something.
when Ronald Reagan was governor of California, he tried to fix things, and unfortunately,
All
both
Ronald
houses
Reagan,
were Democrat, and they stopped everything he tried to do. He
all
tried to
right.
redo the welfare system in the state and make it so to encourage people
All
to
Ronald
get
Reagan did
jobs
was
to get
bust the
off of
union.
welfare, and the Democrats stopped him cold.
Okay.
He tried to
All
get
Ronald
the
Reagan
Forest
did was
Service up, and the
he
Democrats
busted the
stopped him
union.
cold. I
Okay,
was
we're not
there.
gonna.
I was involved in it, and he tried, and it was the Democrats stopping him.
Hi,
Ronald Reagan.
modern res- Hi,
All
modern
Ronald Reagan.
refugee.
All Ronald Reagan did was bust the unions. That was his main objective, was to break the unions, and he did it. He had his own agenda. Every one of them's got his own
They all
agenda. It
have their
doesn't
own
matter.
agendas. It's just it's, I read a big article. It's been 60 years. They've all ran on infrastructure. Somewhere in their campaign, they run on infrastructure, but by the time they get elected, infrastructure is out the window because of something else that they actually wanted to get done, and so
Okay,
infrastructure gets thrown out.
let me give you something in history, and you can go back and check it. When Germany had to pay for the First World War because of they overtaxed Germany, they made Germany pay for the First World War when they went and fought Kaiser. Got it? So Germany was broke. It was infrastructure had failed, and everybody was going hungry. Well, oh, guess what? Hitler moves in there, and he raised his economy. Sounds like something else I know. And everything's going real smooth, and they're kicking butt and everything else. So he changes some rules around, and he became chancellor, which is called president. And then all of a sudden, he wanted to be president for life. And he got president for life. And guess what? It drove us into World War II. You see what I'm saying? You gotta, most presidents, they got their own agenda. And whatever that agenda is what we have to put up with. Like this, let's take this one. He wanted this summit over there in some one of his towns where he owned a big motel and all this other stuff. Well, they changed that and they went to the somewhere in wherever the hell they went. But they got their own agenda. You don't think they don't get up there and write laws and statutes for their own buddies, their own friends, this, that, and the other, so they can make money. It don't
Okay, I
matter.
gotta stop this. We gotta back onto the correct subject. We've been drifting all over the place.
Yeah, let's stay
All
on
right.
prepping.
We've been drifting all over the place. We're gonna stay on content, which is weather on SHTF. Okay.
Okay,
Now,
sounds like a winner.
now the biggest thing I have to agree with Will and Gil. If you have like Will, like me and Lucky, we have medical issues. During the worst times is winter on SHTF.
Correct.
And I got to say hello to everybody on the side chat, and I think that I can't see.
Modern refugee came in. How are you doing?
Yeah, and also Tyler. Hi, Tyler.
Tyler
I
wandered
couldn't
in as
I
well.
couldn't see anybody, but we have to concentrate on weather. We still got 4 more weeks. Gil, I've been doing your numbers. I can't tell what part of Idaho is going to get snow or 70-degree weather.
I know it's changing. I mean, they the Weather Service, National Weather Service says, oh, you're going to, the day before, so you're going to get 3 inches of snow tomorrow. And it's 55 degrees and a clear sky.
Right. I know. I got my numbers right
so
here.
weird right now.
Yeah, because my numbers shows for Washington and Oregon Oregon, you guys got a weird microsystem going over you guys. You either have snow one day, 55 degrees or 70 degrees, like Oregon. Next day, it's snowing again.
Yeah.
Did you
Just-
get
What's Oklahoma got?
you got a microsystem coming up from Texas and Louisiana.
Oh,
The
good.
numbers are all over the board on this.
Yeah, I've been watching Suspicious Observers weather space map and everything from the in the mornings here, and yeah, the whole not only the jet stream but the orbital streams from surface to ground are getting all whacked out of shape and changing around quite a bit, and so as the weather is shifting, they're finding it very hard to track the weather. I mean, even the jet stream is shifting quickly, and it usually doesn't shift quickly.
Right. Have you seen Siberia's numbers? Okay, they had 70 degrees in January. That's
What?
Siberia.
Siberia?
Antarctica and Siberia, the two places on either side of the hemisphere, had 70 degrees temperature.
We were -7 last night.
There goes some of our snowpack.
We were
No,
-7 last night.
Wow.
I know, but it's
You
kind
mean
of
the
weird.
Antarctica was 70 degrees?
Yes, I had a friend on a cruise
Wow.
showing me penguins out of breath walking to the water to get cool.
Because
Wow.
The
back in
beach
the
is usually
70s, back in the 70s, I went and spent a little skit down there in the Antarctica. Biological crap. But anyway, it wasn't that then. It was so cold you couldn't step outside.
right, but they have
Yeah.
a cruise ship from Chile that goes by, and everybody's bundled up, and they're wearing shorts
Yeah.
in
It's, yeah.
Antarctica, and also in
Wow.
Siberia, which is a real. Everybody like Hoople's cat talk about greenhouse gas, and not Antarctica, Siberia.
What about the polar, the magnetic north and south shifting, like they say it's going to do?
Oh, it's that one is in Siberia, the magnetic North Pole, and on the south, I think it's towards Chile. I can't remember Chile or Australia.
Yeah, but yeah, that's if you want to look that up, you need to go check out Suspicious Observers. He's been showing the maps on how things are fluctuating on it, and he has several good videos on it. So if you want information on that, that's where you need to go, to Suspicious Observers.
On the magnetic pole shifting. From
Yes,
north to south.
on that.
Okay.
Yeah, he's covering that quite deftly right now. But
I go look that up. Thank you.
Yeah, so it was 70 over in Siberia, and here in southern Idaho we had -7 last night. We got -3 scheduled for tonight.
Ooh, I just bought that land up there. You know where Montello, Nevada is? Montello?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's where I bought that land up in Montello, around in Montello. I'm like 60, 70 miles from Montello, but I'm like real close to the Idaho border and the Utah border. So it got that cold last night up in that area.
Oh yeah.
No. That's being even 80 miles south of me. It was 10 degrees warmer than it is here.
Oh, good.
It's just
So
the way
it's above zero.
the way the jet stream is moving around is something really weird.
Yeah, like I said, Gil, it's the jet stream's acting up. The polar, what we're talking about, polar one jet stream that goes around the world.
Yeah.
It's acting nuts. I can't remember what country was getting messed up. Oh, England. England getting hit with massive flooding and storms.
Yeah, right now.
You think we're getting rain? Go over to England.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they would be icicle if it wasn't for the southern trough, the heat, the warm water coming up, feeding from south, the equator going up there and warming them up.
Yeah, but it's changing right now.
A little bit bigger.
Yeah, it's changing right now. Even Greenland, parts of it are going back when the Vikings discover it, it's turning green again.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
heck.
Hey, Will, you want to
Yeah.
chuckle? Throw this up there. This
Yeah.
is good. This is the jet stream,
That's
and
what
this
I
is
was just trying to bring up myself.
all right. Check this out. Watch this. This is usually the jet stream goes up and down like this. This is going east to west. Watch this. How it's moving.
Yep.
What about, what
Look at that.
Remember, I told you the
Now, all
twin
right.
tail.
Now here we got some up and down,
Wow.
but it's look how fast it's pulling across. All right. That's the
weird.
projections out through the next 10 days. And this
It went
started up
It was
yes,
from
this is
latitude
this
to
is this
longitude.
morning, and this is the projection map going on what's been going on for the last couple months. Look at that.
Yep, washing machine.
Latitude.
All right, we get
Yeah.
one up and down, it goes through, and in 10 days we're back to solid east to west again.
Yeah.
There ain't no way the guys are able to predict what the storms are going to do.
Hey,
it went from latitude to longitude, just boom.
Yeah,
You
I
know
mean,
what I'm
just
saying?
look
Up
the
and
way it go. I'm going backwards now. All right, so now we're back to where we are now. But you look at it's so much of it going east to west, and you just get little
Then it
dips
goes-
down in, and then here on the 26th we get a true north to south jet stream, but then it moves right on across and it's gone.
Remember, I told
this is
you.
the stuff that Suspicious Observer shows me, and it's
Right.
really cool.
Remember, Gil, I told you last time we have two, like the jet stream divided into two.
Yeah,
It's like it's two different patterns on the same area.
yeah.
Because
And-
if you see the red and you see the blue, blue's cold, red's hot.
And it's just it's so weird going on here is that you got your low pressures and stuff in places you normally don't have low pressures, and the whole thing is just going weird. But what would affect this even more, really make it screwy, we got several volcanoes going off, pumping crap into the air. Now if they were really to start pumping stuff and putting out more hydrogen sulfide gas and the other gases and stuff, and a lot more heat, it would really screw up the jet stream even more than it is.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, Hubble's cat says we're going to die from CO2, man-made CO2. I showed the figures that we're supposed to be dead in 1992 if he says CO2 pollution. His math is really off.
Yeah, and the things what's going on right now is Suspicious Observers was quoting some of the scientific, the UN Scientific Council, which is flip-flopped on some of their stuff and say, oh, good, we just realized these figures were wrong because we forgot to include this other stuff. They're talking about stuff coming down.
And
More fresh.
Right now, it's showing the temperatures of our country right now.
Yeah.
See if I get that bigger.
Yeah, they're talking
But
about
as a prepper, how in the world would you set up to plant your crops, this, that, and the other? Because basically, your total information like Wikipedia, your weather, your NOAA, all this is going to be irrelevant because we can't get to it. So therefore, we're just having to guess what is the weather going to be and we can't afford to waste our seeds to plant if we go too early, too late, so on and so forth.
Well, it's like I'm fixing up a spot in the basement to have like a little mini greenhouse in the basement for growing certain things down there, and that way, when the weather does get warm enough, the plants are going to be big enough, to go out and 1 gallon pots and plant them and stuff. But the one thing that we're planning on putting in here is one of those Willie Peeney's greenhouses where they're 3/4 of the way underground, and you just have the glass dome over the top of it, so it has all the warmth from the earth keeping it warm inside. And there's a guy in Nebraska. His place is covered with snow, and he's got orange trees and banana trees growing in his.
Yeah, I saw that video.
In the middle of winter. He gets
Well,
2
that's just like
crops a year out of his grapes.
I was trying to show a person how to grow a ton of sweet potatoes in an 8 by 8 by 8 foot tall, and
Hey, learn to survive.
using poles and and fertilizer and straw and so on and so forth. And I mean, a person get tired just eating sweet
Yeah.
potatoes, but you're going to have to survive. You're going to have these little areas where you can maintain it with the most produce. That will give you the best yield. You know what I'm saying? And then you can
Uh,
probably venture out where you
okay.
get a storehouse.
Sorry, I got time out. Lucky, remember Zimbabwe?
Hmm.
Okay. It used to be Rhodesia. Rhodesia
Hmm.
used to have was the breadbasket of Africa. Look at Rhodesia
Yes.
now. It's a mess because they went to the little plots of everybody growing high density food in their 5-year plan. And what happened? Their country has $1 million bill, not a money bill that you spend to
I
buy
know what you're talking
bread.
about.
Yeah.
Okay. Some of the smaller plots is not what you call food density efficient.
Well, I'm just saying, feeding a small group of people through a down situation, you're going to have to figure out something to produce, to give you best yield to feed them people. Then maybe you could venture out to the neighborhood and the town and then the bigger community. We ain't going to start off with just corporate farming. You know what I'm saying?
Well, some of the bigger cities actually have city gardens where everybody in the city contributes somewhat to the garden, and that way that they can feed part of the city through it. I don't know if
Well,
you
I
Okay.
guys
me-
have seen
Uh,
that.
I
uh,
remember
uh,
the Victor. I remember the Victor Gardens in World War II. Everybody had a garden. I mean, in World War II.
right. But that's different because everybody knew how to garden back then and they had bigger lots. But I got to keep telling people this. I'm going to make more videos. Food
Yeah.
density. Okay. One person is a third of an acre if you fully develop it. And it cannot be summer vegetable crops.
No.
If you grow beans, wrong kind of beans, if you grow tomatoes, if you grow leafy greens, you are going to die. Where are the calories? Where is the nutrition? How dense it is, and where you're going to store it. Now, Lucky was right on the sweet potatoes. Okay. You have to have a lot of sweet potatoes. My
Oh
family
yeah.
history survived a lot of things. And in Japan, what we grew is sweet potatoes. What I grow in my secret garden that I never showed to anybody, because last time I showed it to people, somebody with a truck ripped me off with all my goods. That's 2.5 acres.
That's sad.
So after that, I don't show nobody my garden. I show you my
Well, I
patio garden because it's small. I don't show you my real garden. Nobody sees it like my preps. Nobody sees it. Nobody knows it. I don't care. Weather-wise, you like Zimbabwe, they had 2 droughts during this time period, and a
Yeah.
lot of those independent small city farms went.
Yeah.
And what's the life expectancy, Gil, of a person in Zimbabwe now? Is it 57 still?
I'm not sure. I know it's been dropping.
Oh yeah, it's about. I think it's 57. Before, when it was Rhodesia, when it was a democratic, real republic and not a communist one or a socialist one, people lived to about 80 or Lucky's age. Lucky over that age, everybody's dying younger than me, and I'm ill and sick. So I always
well,
pick up the subject of Zimbabwe. You have to be careful on food density.
Yeah. It's like
well,
the weather on everything is important because I'm looking back at the chat here. Modern Refugee says one thing to do with storms. Well, summer or winter, it can blow trees down and block roads. It can blow a tree down and take out your house. And Anthony knows about that.
Right.
He got a tree blown down on his roof, put holes in his roof, and there's a lot of problem. I mean, in of itself, weather can be the HSTF situation. It could be severe drought, and where you don't have enough water during the summertime to plant any foods, or it can be like it was back in 1816 when they had that year without a summer.
Yeah,
No,
rained
no
all
crop.
the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they had snow all the time.
that was the mini ice age. That's called.
That was near the end of the mini ice age,
Yeah.
and they had snow all the time. They had a lot of people starve to death because of lack of food. That was a major HSTF event for the time.
Yeah, I'm looking it up now. They're called pea patches, and they grow. It's a community garden that are grown right inside cities, so that the whole community can farm it and get something out of it.
True. That only helps a little bit. But I got to put up this subject. This is weather related.
Side chat. Got something really good here going on. Question from Glenn Wilkinson. Do you guys believe in climate change? Southern oil prepping, yes, it's real. It also runs on a cycle about every 12,000 years. History proves a fact. Gunslinger, climate change is a broad statement. Climate is always changing. That's how the Earth cycles. I don't believe in global warming the way the news and the election officials portray it. It is nothing man has done in part of the cycle or anything. Yeah, it's the Earth has cycles. We're looking at the cycles of the jet stream. It moves, it shifts. Global warming isn't controlled by man. We have such a small, infinitesimal change on it. The sun has a million times more impact on the weather than people do. And that's what Suspicious Observers is talking about the particles interacting with the upper atmosphere, causing the cycles from the upper to lower air circulation besides the jet stream. All that stuff is nature's cycle, and global warming and global cooling is all part of the cycle. And that's how it screws us up. We think we know what the cycle is going to be. We're not paying real close attention to what Mother Nature's cycle is, and we get off on what we're planning for. And sometimes, just like the human body, all of a sudden you catch a cold because the sun did something weird. All of a sudden it's colder than normal. We catch colds. The Earth catches the cold. And right now, everyone's talking about greenhouse gases. Well, there's been a dip in greenhouse gases for the last 3 years. Measured a dip. So it's not something that we're doing. It's the way that the whole the biosphere cycling of the Earth is. So trying to prepare for everything is trying to understand that. Trying to realize, okay, I need to plant this, I need to plant that. Where can I plant it? And that's what sometimes where we got to go artificial with greenhouses, high tunnels, aquaponics, indoor aquaponics, all that fun stuff. And I know Will would like to have some indoor aquaponics.
I've done it before. They work quite well. Yeah.
He have his fresh vegetables and his tilapia right there.
Yeah, that's right.
And those are the type of things
what worries me more than
this is actually
more than anything.
A subject that everybody can agree to disagree on. You're never going to convince everybody of the same thing. Everybody's got their own opinion.
Anything
really,
right now is the younger generation. They've not had to live through. Everybody knew a little bit about farming. Everybody knew a little bit about this and knew a little bit about that. They're more isolated themselves. They know more about technology, like how the phone works, the computer works. And if something really hit, like a EMP or whatever, they're going to be lost.
Sure, she can.
Yeah, but it's worse if you have an EMP during the winter.
Oh yeah, definitely. Way worse.
Oh yeah, I'd say that. But then it's going to be worse if you don't have some older people knowing them. Well, let me show you how to do this.
Yeah,
but I'd love to get one of those underground gardens going. One that you just have it just up off the ground and then tunneled in, because you would have the same temperature year round.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
You could grow several cycles doing that.
Yeah, big thing, folks. Got to remember what happened in Ireland, Gil.
Yeah.
Remember
potato,
right? And what happened? They had another
They
cycle.
migrated.
Before that, it's weather. They had what? And what caused the blight?
Yeah, it's go ahead.
Many
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Irish potato family had a cold, really bad cold winter. It kicked off the blight because the blight was confined to only Europe, and it reached England, and then from England it hit Ireland. Ireland at that time, a lot of family gardens were maybe a pig and a lot of potatoes. So what happened to their main food supply?
Well, it died off. It dried up. They was only farming 3 to 5 to 7 acres to begin with.
Smaller than that.
That's true too.
Most Irish people had less than a fourth of an acre to farm. That's with your house, your pigs, your kids, and your potatoes.
And they
Because
depended on one type of potato. Go ahead.
right, one type of potato, like Lucky said, and they didn't eat anything else. All they had was bacon, potatoes with cream, and parsley, and that was it.
A little bit of cabbage, but not much.
Yeah.
Now, cabbage was a rarity and expensive.
Yeah, it was.
Well, they also Ireland also had sheep. They had mutton.
Right, but that's rich Irish people in Northern Ireland.
That was the Northern Ireland. He's just right on that. Was mostly up north.
They're rich Irish people. We call them.
You mean up by Cork County?
We're
Hey,
talking-
that's where my great grandfather was from. My name must have been rich. Hey,
There's certain Irish people that survived the famine because they ate animal food, that's sheep, and they ate corn and wheat. Now, if you read the politics of that, Ireland got really screwed because of the potato diet. They were bigger than the English, stronger than the English, and just what happens? They had two things: the blight and the weather. And the weather's got to be always a factor because a lot of people live in their tiny bubbles, like Lucky said. They don't know what's going on. And with weather, like Will says, Will's up there, and what Gil says about food density, you have to be careful not locking into a certain type of farming.
yeah, you don't want to be narrowed down. You want to have a wide range, rotational farming, be able to raise multiple crops. You don't want to lock yourself in. I was just checking the side chat there.
Every year you want to make sure you're growing something different so that you're putting something back in the ground.
Well, a lot of crops will depend on other crops. You can grow something that would enhance the next crop.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that if you plant this, you can turn around and plant soybean or something else to put the nutrients back in that soil.
Exactly.
Clover, not my clover.
Rotation. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. On the side chat over here, I'm just looking here at some of the comments from the guys out there. Talking about the blizzards. The blizzard of '78. If we had another one of those, the youngins today would flip. Modern refugees talking about the
blizzard of '86.
You read that there's a correlation between the grand solar minimum and epidemics, which means there's also a correlation between the grand solar maximum and epidemics. And bad blizzards. Modern refugee says bad blizzards for us was in '86 and 2000. So yeah, I mean.
So those are the winners, they rotate good winners and bad winners by a farmer's almanac, they'll tell you.
And so, Will, once again, I think your topic of how the weather will affect SHTF needs to include how the weather will trigger HSTF.
Yeah, well, I figured it all come together.
Look at when they had great produce of wheat and this, that, and the other because the weather was perfect. It also drove up the insects, the mice, and everything. It's sort of like they took over and went wild. Because they was like breeding on demand because the food supply was there.
Yeah. Look at East Africa right now. East Africa's getting hit with mice and locusts and frogs.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
All right, you guys, we've got an hour and a half in. I don't want to go past that.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Night, guys. Night,
Well,
Lucky. Night,
All
Will.
right,
Night,
thank
Gil.
everybody for coming
Night,
thank you
by.
guys
chat.
for
All right,
inviting
folks.
me. I really enjoyed it.
Good
All right.
discussion, you guys.
Okay, before you kill it, Will, before you kill it, in 2.5 hours, Southern Ohio Prepping has his live going on tonight. Dave, you want to throw up in the side chat here real quick what your live is going to be about tonight? Give him a second to do that. And then also for everybody, the Saturday, we'll be back on Saturday at 3 o'clock Mountain Time. And after him, I'll be on at 5 o'clock Mountain Time. Mine will be on Store What You Eat, Eat What You Store, proper ways of doing food storage.
I've been there.
And Will, what are you know what you're going to be on Saturday? What you're going to do Saturday yet?
Not sure. It'd probably be something to do with this here.
Okay.
Let's try to start in on all this stuff again.
Oh, okay. So Southern Ohio Prepping put out a video reminder a few hours ago. So go check Southern Ohio Prepping for his reminder about what tonight's live stream is going to be about. And then tying on to this, Will, on Friday, I'm doing natural disasters that change the weather.
Yep. Friday, I'll be on at 1 o'clock, you guys.
Yeah, he'll be on at 1, and then at 8 o'clock on Friday, I'll be doing natural disasters, how they change the weather. So we'll be talking about that as well. We'll be continuing weather issues this week.
Exactly. All right, you guys.
All right, see y'all later.